Hi there, Katie Freiling here, and I want to share some stories with you today about some different experiences in my life that I've been able to turn from being more challenging or problematic, quote-unquote, experiences to being blessings, to being true gifts, and that this is something that you can absolutely do as well anytime that you choose. So today's message may be a new insight for you, or maybe just a simple reminder that we all have the ability to choose how we perceive our lives, to choose how we perceive ourselves, our life experiences, and it is that power of perception that changes everything. How we choose to see or perceive our lives or life experiences determines how we interpret them, the stories we tell ourselves about what's happening, and how we feel inside, our way of being, and then what we create in the world. And so this power of perception is so important. It's such a huge reminder that we have the ability to really truly live in an abundance of joy and happiness and peace and freedom when we choose to perceive that way. So especially when we have challenging circumstances come our way, it's really important to remind ourselves that we can choose to perceive differently. So I want to share some different stories with you of things that have come up in my life recently that I've been able to shift my perception around. So first, I am in a transition with my living situation. So I moved out of my place about a couple months ago and went to Maui for a couple weeks, and I've been back in San Diego for about a month. And I haven't found a new place to live yet, so I've kind of been in gypsy mode, as I call it, just staying with different friends, hopping around. And, you know, at first, it's felt very ungrounded, or ungrounding to me. I hadn't felt settled in feeling like I just, really wanting to be in my own flow and routine and get back into my creativity and business mode and just have my own space. And it hasn't happened yet. So there definitely was some frustration around that. And I have now chosen to shift my perception of this as not being a problem, but being a true blessing. Because I have learned so much about myself, and I have learned in how to be more grounded and centered no matter what my life experiences look like, no matter if I have a place to call home or not. And that's been a huge benefit, a huge blessing for me in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. And on top of that, I've also been able to stay with friends of mine who have been so gracious to take me in and allow me to stay with them, and we've been able to have more quality time and deepen our friendships, and so that's just been a huge blessing as well. So I'm so grateful for this whole experience, and I am totally trusting that the right house will come at the right time. So the other thing that's happened recently is that I've been having some health challenges. And so I had a couple doctors recently tell me that I need to get on these different programs and do a cleanse and cut out these different foods from my diet and whatnot. And at first, I'm perceiving this as, oh my gosh, I have these health problems, and I was experiencing these pains and this and that, and potential for worry and yada yada, and then also having to cut out foods out of my diet and feeling like I'm bummed out about that, or I'm missing out on things that I enjoy. So one of the things particularly was caffeine. I was told to give up caffeine completely, and at first, again, like I said, it's like a bummer to hear that news, but now I am totally choosing to perceive this as a huge blessing, because I now have the opportunity to bring my body and my energy and my vitality back into balance, which is something that is hugely beneficial and something that I want to do. And so I'm so grateful for these health challenges, quote unquote, because they're bringing my body back into balance and they're getting me back on track with my health. And I now have the opportunity to live a caffeine-free existence and connect more deeply to my natural flow of energy, which is something I want to do. So I'm so grateful for all of this, and it's just been a huge blessing. So lastly, I had a mole removed from my belly a couple days ago, and so I had found this mole that was not yet cancer, but it was on its way. And so I was getting it surgically removed a couple days ago, and as I was on the table and they were cutting it out, I was thinking about the scar I was going to have. So I now have a scar on my belly about that big, and I was kind of bummed out at first about the scar. And then I started thinking about how I won't be able to do yoga for a month and all the things I'm going to be missing out on in my life because of it. And I just completely shifted my perception right there in the moment and chose to focus and perceive this whole experience as such a blessing, because I was able to catch something on my body that could have potentially been deadly. I caught it in time, and I have the incredible blessing of being able to have it removed and walk out of the doctor's office without these potentially cancerous cells in my body. And I mean, that's a huge gift, a huge blessing that I am still alive, I am here, and I caught something in time that could have saved my life. That's huge. And even thinking about the fact that my mind even went to thinking about the scar and the other things I was missing out on is just such an example of how our minds can be so used to perceiving things as problems and focusing on what we're missing out on rather than focusing on and looking for the blessings in life. So I just wanted to share these stories with you to inspire you and encourage you to focus on the blessings in your life and to choose to perceive your life experiences, especially the more challenging ones, as blessings, because you will feel so much better. You will feel so much more at peace and so much more free, so much more joy, and especially in knowing that you have the power to perceive differently. You have the power to change your life through the power of your perception, and that is so incredibly amazing, isn't it? So, I would love to hear from you. If you have any stories to share around this topic or things that have happened to you in your life that you've been able to shift your perception around that have resulted in some different experiences and different feelings and emotions in your life, I would love to hear from you. This is really, really beautiful, important work. And so leave a comment down below, let us all know, share your life experience. And if this video was valuable for you today, please make sure you share it with friends. And I will talk with you soon. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. Thank you.